Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Now today we are taking a look at none other than Axe Woves. Oh, another Mando figure. I'm really darn excited to get him out here. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, it's really simple. It's done in the usual Hot Toys Mandalorian Star Wars style. Why did I specifically mention Mandalorian? Well, there's a wraparound banner. Up top, front and center, an image of the figure, plus Star Wars in silver foil. Then on the orange banner, another image of the figure, and one more on the side of the box. On the back, all of the warnings and legal info. That's not all for the artwork though. On the inside, another image that has a bunch of effects, maybe even too much. It's kinda distracting. Now, Hot Toys, we need to talk. Y'all are making Coscareeves with a head sculpt. Y'all made Bo-Katan with a head sculpt. But for some reason, not Axe Woves. Why? If Hasbro can do it in the Black Series, surely you could have done it in 1/6 scale. First in-hand impressions though, oh, they're pretty positive. I love the color scheme. What we are going to do now though is get all of his accessories, as few as there are, laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, it's pretty straightforward. It's rectangular, there's the great style flooring up on top. I do like the silver dry brushing, makes it look weathered. Up front, Star Wars and Axe Woves on an etched metal nameplate. Then up top, a dynamic flight pole and a spring-loaded waist clamp. Being a Mando, he, of course, comes with his jetpack. We have seen this mold before with Death Watch, so we know it's good. The edges are sharp, the detail is crisp. I love the super vibrant blue, plus the softer blue accents and the metallic silver. This thing is also filthy. There's pitting and dirt and grime in the crevices, and some scratches as well. You do get some blast effects, we've seen these before as well, translucent plastic and quite spiky. They do have a gradient to them. They start off this fiery orange and end up translucent yellow. We get two of them, one for either side, and the best part is, these thrusters, they can move. When it comes to weaponry, we only get one pistol, unfortunately not two. But technically, in the show, he only had one anyway. We've seen this mold with Bo-Katan and Death Watch. It's good. The lines, once again, crisp and clean. I like the mix of metallic blue and this darker blue, plus the bright silver. There are even some oil stain washes in the crevices. And lastly, Hot Toys were really stingy with the hands. They're reused from Mando, you can tell because this armor plate is the exact same. I do like the sculpt, but we only get closed fist, trigger finger hands, and open palm hands. That's it. Like I said, slim pickings. I do, however, appreciate the speckling of blue on the armor plating, just as some subtle weathering. What we are going to do now though is get Axe Woves himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that, and maybe I'm biased because I'm partial to loving different colors and unique designs for Mandos, but I'm all in. This guy is awesome. The proportions are super realistic. He's a little bit bigger and bulkier than other Mandos, more on that later. I love the color of blue, it absolutely slaps. Plus, his look isn't a complete carbon copy from Death Watch, for those who are wondering if it is. This guy has some unique elements that, fingers crossed, will help him stand out. Up close and personal, kicking things off with the helmet first. Now, yes, this isn't the first time we've seen this, nor is it the second or the third or the fourth. You get what I'm trying to say, we've seen this helmet for years. It's the tried and true Boba Fett helmet, but it totally works here. The mold is sharp and the paint apps are stunning. I love this super vibrant blue, it's a nice nice contrast with the gunmetal and the black visor. There's a ton of chipping and dirt and grime on the surface. And yes, there's the signature Boba Fett vent around the back. You can also rotate the viewfinder down, and it's painted up on top. For those wondering if this guy is literally just a repack of the Death Watch Mando in the same colors, I can already tell you, the mold between the armor plates are shared, but the color is completely different. Around the back, he is wearing a two-tone fabric and pleather vest, lighter grey up on top that's nicely stitched to look like it's quilted, and some armor plates, plus some pretty big honkin' and very visible magnets. That means when you bring the jetpack in, no problem whatsoever, it simply pops on and away you go. Plus, if you want to plug the blast effects in, you simply do just that. They slide into the thrusters, and don't forget, you get a little bit of articulation so you don't singe his booty. Back around the front, you can tell that this guy's pretty built. He looks nice and chunky. And Hot Toys have done two things to make that happen. The first of which is padding. There is so much padding. His biceps padding, his torso padding, his thighs also padding. Now that means he's wearing a padded fat suit, so articulation could be a little bit limited. I wouldn't be surprised if those out there who appreciate a good pose remove the padded fat suit almost immediately, just like Beskar and Durasteel Mando. On top of that, they've also shrunk the legs down so he looks a little bit more stocky, and as a byproduct, even bigger. Now, on top of the padded fat suit, you have the flight suit. Instead of tucking the top into the pants, this time they've done the opposite. The top is kind of hanging over the pants themselves. Now, that means he looks a little bit more different. I also like the quilted stitching. That's something that we've seen in both Death Watch and also Din Djarin. I don't know about y'all, but I find this design so aesthetic. The use of color blocking is awesome. We've got a stripe of blue up top for the helmet, then this black / gunmetal, then blue once again, including the jetpack, then gunmetal again, then blue again, then black down below. It's all alternating and it floats my boat. Now the armor is a borrowed sculpt from Death Watch, so all of the scratches and dents, they're identical. But the paint apps, they're not identical. Like I said earlier, they're completely different. We've got different silver scratching, some speckling on the surface, plus of course that base layer of almost black gunmetal. We then have a touch of blue weathering. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. Speaking of blue, his gauntlets are of course blue. They are an asymmetrical design, meaning this side is different to the other. There's also some speckling of dirt and grime and silver chipping over the top. Now back to the fabric sections, you can make out that pleather vest from earlier, plus this pleather flap. I'm not exactly sure what that's there to protect, but it's accurate to the show. There is some design work stitched in, but the stitching is almost the same color as the panel, so it's not super visible. Now, his belt is pleather, the belt buckle is plastic, but painted a nice metallic silver, and some dirt and grime over the top. His pouches, though, they're not pleather, they're sculpted. Thank you, Hot Toys. We don't have to worry about these degrading or peeling over time, and they look the part. They look like real pleather. In fact, initially, I thought they were. You also have a proper working holster with this strap on a magnet. It's pretty secure. Mandos quite clearly love their asymmetry because the pants are as well. His thigh plates are completely different from one side to the other, borrowed from both Durasteel Mando and Death Watch. His knee pads are a nice vibrant blue, but they're even filthier than the rest of him because he'd be bending down and kicking some serious butt, which makes sense that they're a little bit more weathered. You also have these two silver dongles on the back of this boot gaiter piece. Unfortunately though, this gaiter is pleather. It does have a velcro strap down the side, so technically it is adjustable. You can also move it up and down, but I don't reckon it needed to be pleather. More on that a little bit later. Underneath, we do have some relatively high-topped boots, but they have a fairly decent range of motion. There's also a ton of sculpted-in texture. They look like leather. On the underside, nothing. They're completely smooth. For a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have Axe Woves on the left, and on the right, Death Watch Mando. Now, there are a bunch of similarities, but The height and the color, they're not two of them. The color is much more vibrant on Axe, and he's shorter and stockier, which, like I said earlier, makes him look a little bit bigger and bulkier. He is, however, taller than Bo-Katan, as I think he should be. I also like that you can tell the armor is from the same clan or family, similar color scheme with the blue and the gunmetal. Although it's not the same blue, it's specific to Axe Woves, and I like that. It's something that's unique to him, it's his own color, so when you pop him alongside the other Mandos, I've said this before, I'll say it again, he's gonna stand out. Speaking of which, here's Din Djarin. He's taller than Axe Woves, it's kind of a who is, who isn't type of situation. If you're wondering for a point of reference, where does he sit between Bo-Katan and Mando, he's somewhere in the middle. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy, so I'm going to be a touch more careful. Starting off with the bucket, it's on an articulated neck and a double ball peg, looking forward to there. Looking back to there, great for flight poses, swivel and a ton of pivot, side to side. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, but kinda restricted thanks to the padding. Butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow going past 90, plus a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso crunches forward and back, swivels and pivots. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee on soft ratchets, and then lastly a double ball peg down here for the ankle. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things. The first annoying thing is, why are these magnets so visible? Surely they could have stitched them on the underside. It's not like this vest is too thick that would have cancelled out the magnets. Totally a non-issue, they're really strong. It would have looked better if they were underneath, but they would have functioned just as well. The second annoying thing, and I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but he really should have had a head sculpt. Bo-Katan, she has a head sculpt. Koska Reeves, head sculpt. 6-inch version of Axe Woves in the Black Series lineup, head sculpt. But no, apparently the super premium highest end version of this character, being the 1/6 scale Hot Toys one, he doesn't deserve that head sculpt. Well, I reckon that's just not good enough. The third annoying thing is, down here for the boot covers, they've used pleather. There's really no reason to do that. With Boba Fett, these are sculpted rubbery pieces over the top. They could have done the exact same thing here, but they didn't. Now, in my collection, I'm kind of scared to put any additional wrinkles in it for fear of it peeling over time, so he's pretty much gonna stand straight up and down. The first cool thing is, even though he reuses all of this armor plating from Death Watch, he's not the exact same thing. The color is different, his flight suit and the belt and the fabric pieces also different. Plus, he's on a shorter body, so in the collection, like I said, these two aren't the same thing. The second cool thing is, just like all of the other Mandos, his armor plating is held on with Velcro. So that means if you're trying to get him in a pose and it's just not working, simply take the armor plating off, dial in the pose, then pop it right back on. The third cool thing is, even though unfortunately he doesn't come with his own flamethrower effect, if you have one from previous figures, it's compatible. He actually has the little crevice that it slides into on his gauntlet. Unfortunately, there's not really a nozzle to line up with the flame piece, but at the very least, if you want him in a flamethrowing pose and you have one of these, it totally works. For a bonus cool thing, we may as well call it an honorable mention, we do get one more accessory. It's a cardboard backdrop. It's the same cardboard backdrop as we got with Bo-Katan. I like the way it looks, but for Axe Woves, it's a little bit small. I understand they wanted to keep all the backdrops the same height for consistency, totally a good thing. But when you have a taller character plus one with the rangefinder, with it sticking up so high, he's almost taller than the backdrop. Wrapping up on Hot Toys Mandalorian Season 2 Axe Woves. Y'all are really pushing it with this one, Hot Toys. I don't know what to say. Do I recommend him without the head sculpt or not? For me, I don't really care, I guess. I love the bucket look, it's a classic Mando look, but If you have Bo-Katan and Koskari standing there holding their buckets, like we first saw them do in Mandalorian, then what's this guy gonna do? Literally awkwardly stand there in the background with his bucket on? Yeah, no thank you. I'm hoping someone makes a good third-party head sculpt, but for now, yeah, you're SOL, it's helmet on. I do, however, love the armor, dig the proportions and the accessories, even though there aren't a ton of them. So, if you don't care about the head sculpt, you're going to love this guy. He's another awesome Mando. But if you do care about head sculpts, maybe skip this guy, he's not the one for you. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans, as well as a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.